Hello, hello, everybody. We're live again, and welcome to the Transatlantic Takedown. Megan, how are you doing?
Doing good. And for the first time in a couple of weeks, I am not sick. I'm
Brilliant
feeling
stuff.
good. I'm feeling more lively, feeling more like myself. Um,
Excellent.
so overall, I'm just good. How are you?
I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad. Just happy to be here. We have a massive storm coming here to Ireland. I think it's going to be biblical, according to everybody. Going to be one of the worst in 40 years or thereabouts. But yeah, look, as long as we're safe, that's the main
Right.
thing. We'll be cooped up. There'll be plenty of wrestling to watch anyway, as we know.
Yes.
This weekend, as we all know, Saturday night's main event is back. And
Yes.
we saw a lot of different things in the lead up to this, of course, on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown last week. But interesting few matches. I suppose we'll start off with Jey Uso v Gunter is quite a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think there's a lot of us who would love to see Jay take the title. I don't think this will be that time. Um, I think honestly, I'm not sure what will be the reason unless they just want to see how the WWE universe reacts to the idea of Jey Uso possibly
Mm.
being a heavyweight champion. Um, but at the same time, I don't know if they're gonna
I
have.
don't see it happening unless they want to throw some kind of curveball. But I would be very surprised if Gunter wasn't holding the belt still going into WrestleMania or going to Royal Rumble and into WrestleMania. Then, of course, we'll have Elimination Chamber before
Right,
that too. But I do think the WWE can see how much of a draw Jay is, in recent times, and just how over like the crowd goes insane when he arrives.
right,
You know, he comes down through the crowd, so they're up close with him. You can see the kind of hold he has over all the kids and all that kind of stuff. He interacts with them all. He's a real star. You know,
absolutely, absolutely, and you know, just the idea that if he doesn't win the title, which I don't think he, like I said, I don't think he will because I thought it was already out there that he's going to be a part of the Royal Rumble. So therefore, I think they already kind of like told us
yeah,
what the results of this match was going to be. Um, but yeah, and on top of that, his friend Rhea Ripley, she has a match also at Saturday night's main event
yeah,
against Nia Jax of
yeah.
all people. So it's going to be kind of like a clash of the titans between them two. Um,
How do you feel about that though? Like Rhea is after coming out of a good long run with Liv, and I don't know. Do you not feel it's a little tired just to put her up against Naya again? I know they had a brief stint, facing off against one another, brief run, but I don't know. It just seems like there's other possible people there that she could feud with.
well, I think I feel like they teased
Maybe if
it.
we go to just a physical level, perhaps
Yeah,
that's how they feel that Naya looks, big enough, that she can hold her own on a physical level with Rhea. But I don't know. Like I just think maybe that she needs someone new, to face off against. Like, is this just a stopgap on the way, or
I would think so.
yeah,
I would think so because until last week, we didn't have a women's match
Mm.
for Saturday. Um, but they already kind of teased these two women at War Games anyway.
Yeah.
So um, yeah, they just, it might feel like a little filler match, to not make the show feel like a boys club, but either way, it's still going to be a good match between them two. Um, although it's
Yeah.
not a title, it's just a regular match as far as I can see. But there is one person that I do feel like will walk away a champion on Saturday, and that is your guy.
Good old Sheamus.
Yes, 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 yes. I think this is the match where he will walk away the Intercontinental Champion.
I think he deserves it now. Um, he's put in the graft since he returned.
Yeah,
Um, all his matches, the ones against Ludwig Kaiser in recent times, he gives it his all. He's a warrior, like he's a true Trojan worker.
hmm
And he's what is he mid 40s now? He's a real veteran, but he's in tip top shape. He was ridiculed to some degree when he came back, but that's all behind him.
right,
Um, Braun Breaker is a real star. I don't think losing here will stop him in any way, his momentum or impact him. Yeah, I just think Sheamus deserves it. And of course, with Lyra Valkyria as Intercontinental Champion, it would be fantastic to have two Irish folks as
yeah,
Intercontinental Champions. Um, we're flying the flag over there. It's really, really good to see, and long may it continue. But yeah, definitely, I will go for Sheamus there for sure.
right,
Um, and like if he wins, then I would imagine it'll be on to maybe face Ludwig again or a return match against Braun Breaker. Who knows? But just in terms of Saturday night's main event overall, like what do you feel? Is it a little bit of a like a filler type of a PLE type thing, or like there's so many PLEs throughout the year, every month. Like that's the way I was looking at it. Is there still
yeah,
room for this? Like I know years ago when we had Saturday night's main event, we didn't seem to have the amount of PLEs or pay-per-views as there
right,
are now. So I don't know. I think they're playing into the whole nostalgic vibe, and I like it. I'm here for that. But yeah, I'm just wondering, how many surprises we'll actually see on these events.
right. Well, yeah, I think that's a issue that they knew that they was going to come across. Um, with a lot of the Saturday night shows feeling less exciting
Mm,
because of the pay per view. But at the same time, we have Saturday night's main event this Saturday, and then we have the Royal Rumble next Saturday. So
mm.
there is but so much that they could do to make both shows exciting without overshadowing the other, which unfortunately Saturday night's main event is being kind of overshadowed, which I
It is.
feel that is why they added the contract signing
Yeah,
between Cody and Kevin. Um, but
quite interesting that Shawn Michaels is moderating that. Um, if you look at Shawn Michaels through the years, he's not a person you would have seen as that type, the moderator type, and even the role that he plays in NXT now. He's like the father figure. He's matured. He's come on. Like you just would never have looked at him being like that back in the
mhm,
day. Back when Sean lost his smile, and all those times back in, with the issues with Bret Hart and that. But yeah, it like I've said it before, him and Triple H are running the show now. And when you see them back as DX years ago, and even the clips like we saw in the Vince McMahon documentary and all those things, you could never have envisaged this happening,
Right.
in modern times.
Yeah.
It's a real full circle turn. They've come full circle. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. And also, the show is in Sean's hometown of San Antonio. And a lot of people would have just loved to have seen him on TV. And it's probably not much that he could do now. He's an older guy. But it will have, like you said, there will be a nostalgic feel to having him there.
Will somebody get a super kick?
Can he still do it? Is the question.
Yeah.
Can he still do it? Is the question.
Maybe he's there to prove that he can still do it. Like,
will see.
There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of rumors going around that maybe some legends will make their way into the Royal Rumble, some surprise entries into the Royal Rumble. Do you think that Sean could still be one of those, that he could still do it?
No, I think Sean is retired.
Yeah. Not even just for one night only.
No, I just can't see it. I can't
Hogan,
see it.
Is his dusty old ass gonna?
For old time's sake, they probably should, just for that little shot.
That's not gonna work for me, brother. Hogan probably wouldn't go into it unless he was guaranteed that he could win.
Stick around, yeah, or at least stick around. It's like, no, we're already promoting your beers. I think that is enough for us. But
I think it would be farcical at this stage to have Hulk Hogan appear in it, as an entry. I just don't. I don't think the world is able for any more of that, to be honest.
Right. And yeah. Oh, hey, John. Welcome to the show.
Hey, John. How are you doing?
Yeah, like even when I think about, who could possibly show up and surprise us for the Royal Rumble.
Goldberg.
I don't know. I feel like that name, it just irritates my soul. It irritates my soul. But I wouldn't be surprised. I think this is the first year, the first Royal Rumble where I could say, I just don't know which way it could go. There's way too many heavy hitters, way too many prize fighters that is in this match. You have John Cena, you have Roman, you have CM Punk, you have Drew, you have Seth. You have too many people who have held gold and want to hold it again.
Yeah, it really is like the days of old. It's just so hard to call. And I do think the roster is absolutely brimming with talent. So, between NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, that they're not going to have any shortage of talent to make up 30 guys. So I don't think they need to dip into legend territory in any way. I think there should be enough there. However, they always do seem to spin some surprises in some way. It's just the nature of those types of matches, those Royal Rumble matches are, so it's really too hard to call. But I'd love to see Cena winning it. But having said that, I can't rule out the likes of Roman Reigns still, but or CM Punk could be lovely to see him win. But
I don't think Roman is going to win.
yeah,
There's so many people that's going to be in that match that is going to make sure he does not win.
yeah, they might all just go for him to.
Roman has reigned, no pun intended, almost 4 years with that belt. And there's a lot of people that he faced that never thought that they would have that opportunity because he held on to that belt for that long. And I think the minute that number is called and his music plays and he comes into that ring, whoever they're fighting, they're going to stop and all their attention is going to be focused on him.
Yeah.
Because what they are going, maybe not so much of the fact that they don't believe that Cody or Kevin could defeat him, but they just don't want him to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
So I don't see Roman winning either. You know?
I just think the feel good story, the comeback story, you know, it's nearly like Rocky or something like that. The underdog story is John Cena winning.
Not Sammy.
Sammy it's an interesting one. I just feel with the names that we've mentioned there, you know, I don't know. I just now I know what you're saying, Sammy, because of what happened the other night with Kevin Owens. You know, the manipulation is working. You know, with Sammy,
but not just like with Kevin, but also with Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, like they're all putting it in Sammy's head, which I'm noticing is happening every week. It's very subtle. It's easy to miss if you're not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But you have all of these people kind of going to Sammy, questioning his motives, questioning if he's going to help Roman win. At what point is he going to put himself in what he wants first? And you know, and it's coming from different angles.
Yeah.
So, you know, this moment could be kind of like the great upset, you know, like this could be that, you know, that moment where Sammy really comes and surprises everyone by taking that win.
Do you feel it could come down to Sammy and Roman and maybe John Cena, the last three people in the ring, and like what would really put Sammy over is throwing those two guys out?
I'm still trying to figure out how and who is going to get rid of CM Punk.
Yeah, and we still have the favor. You know, you have to think of that Paul Heyman, he owes CM Punk the favor. Like what this all ties into, like this is the long-term build-up, the long-term storytelling that they're doing. There's something there is going to happen. I don't know what it is, whether it links to the bloodline in some way, but yeah, it's just, it's one of those years where you've no idea what is going to play out.
And that's the way that it should have been. And that's the way it should be. We don't want it to be predictable.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want it to be easy to figure it out. We don't want to watch it and in the middle of it we know who's going to win. It's supposed to be this way. That's what makes it fun to watch. Now you did mention Goldberg. You know who I would love to see? Who I think will get the biggest pop if he was to just pop up out of absolutely left field? Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, are you, I don't know, like everybody keeps predicting Brock Lesnar, but we can't go away from the fact, like the you know, the legal issues and all that type of thing going on in the background. How probable is it that he can show up? Like, is there still not something going on there? Like there's investigations. He's under investigation in some way, or is he in the clear? I think he'd have to be fully in the clear, wouldn't he?
Well, that would be ideal. I haven't really followed the case
No,
pretty
I
much
haven't
since
been.
the beginning, but I don't think his involvement is as severe or
Mhm.
as involved as Vince, as John Laurentis, and the other nameless execs that was in the deposition. Now, yes, Brock was a part. He was mentioned, not directly. They
Would that tie into the favor of Paul Heyman for Punk that Lesnar comes back, cleans house for Punk in some way?
I don't know how Brock being there will help Punk in any way. I just don't. I can't see it. The thing about Brock is that he is his own man. He is not going to do too much biddings
Yeah.
that will benefit another man and not himself. Um, if Brock was to come, I think it would be an
Rock
overall
doesn't do anybody
surprise.
any favors, does he? He just
Absolutely not.
doesn't.
It will honestly knock the win out of Paul Heyman to see Brock there. I think it would.
Yeah.
Because now he has to deal with all three of his children. The tribal chief, his
Do you
best
think?
friend.
Do you think that the final boss, that there's a chance of him turning up and appearing in the Royal Rumble?
They don't want him there. Yeah, I do think Brock is one call away too. I
But
do.
maybe they don't want him there. They don't want the Rock. But maybe the Rock himself wants himself there. He's on the board.
Yeah, I've seen people even suggest that he might be the surprise 31
I think people are kind of
person.
gone off him a little bit now, even since the debut episode of Raw, where he came out and he was given the whole corporate spiel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, well, he said he's 20 steps ahead. So don't know if he will be there.
Yeah.
Know that Roman will be on Raw this week coming up. So let's see. We will see.
Yeah, it's really shaping up to be a crazy one. Like that, we just have no idea what's going to happen. But yeah, look, we have the Cody versus Kevin Owens contract signing. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I would really love, like, that's another match, of course, it's going to be at the Royal Rumble, and I really love what Kevin Owens is doing lately. The way he's coming out, like to Rey Mysterio last week, and just kind of he's letting Rey know how much he thinks of him and looked up to him and all that. He came out with a Bret Hart jacket on as well, at one stage, and I love the way he's doing that. The T-shirt with his dad worked in security or something, and
Yeah.
all that kind of. I really love what Kevin Owens is doing on the mic, and I'd love to see him win the belt, because like that, I don't think it does Cody any harm in any way. I don't think he needs gold right now, and especially if we see some kind of a heel turn from
Right.
Cody, which I think is well overdue, and that needs to happen this year. Whether it will or not is another story, but
Yeah,
maybe
but
at
you gotta
WrestleMania
protect
that'll
Shawn
happen.
Michaels. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
I think he'd be an unbelievable heel, Cody. I really do.
I do as well, but he will have to lose his title for that to happen. But there is a heel turn that is coming up that I suspect, and better yet, this is just how I would write it if I was in the writer's room.
Listen up, everyone.
Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. Now, when Bianca and Jade, excuse me, when Naomi and Bianca was speaking of the investigation, that they have for uh over Jade and who attacked her, Jade responded.
Yeah.
She responded indirectly, kind of giving the impression that she is
She
not
knows who
all too
attacked her.
sure. Yeah. Or she's not all too sure that they're really looking to
Yeah.
find out who had injured her. Now, I think it's looking a bit obvious that people want to assume that Bianca and Naomi attacked her, maybe Naomi. Um, the biggest plot twist that I could come up with in my head is
Okay.
that no one injured Jade. She did it to herself.
So it was staged.
The same way they did with Eddie Thorpe.
Yeah.
And the reason why I would have it to where, because look, anybody who knows Jade from AEW, they know that Jade is a good heel. She's a great face in WWE.
Yeah.
But she is a even better heel. And they put her in this tag team group with Bianca, kind of keeping them together instead of giving us what we wanted, which is them to face off with each other.
I get you.
Now,
Yeah.
in my mind, I would think maybe Jade is looking at it like, look, I came from AEW to WWE. I wanted to be the Storm here. I am my own woman. I am playing second fiddle to the EST of WWE. I am her tag team partner rather than she is mine. I don't want to do this,
Yeah.
in a sense. And if they play it off to where she injured herself, thinking that maybe this is a way that they can lose the title, and instead of Bianca forfeiting the belts, because she had the option, she chose not to. Instead, she chose to get Naomi as Jade's replacement. That could have set a fire under Bianca. Under Jade. That could have made her look at it like, she says she cares about me. She said she will look out for me. She will look out to see who it was that attacked me. And instead, she replaced me.
Yeah.
And honestly, they said that Jade has been at the PC. So I really think that she will somehow
come back. Real force.
This Tuesday on NXT, Bianca and Naomi has a tag team title shot against Metaphor, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend. And I do think that Jade is going to cause them the titles.
Yeah.
Triple H gotta pull the trigger. This has to be that moment.
Well, she must be very, very close to a comeback, because we've been seeing quite a lot online about her.
Yeah.
And it's no secret that she has been at the Performance Center. And probably just needed to polish things up a bit. Like she's had a lot of detractors and people criticizing her, and I think quite unfairly, because there's no doubting the talent the lady has, and she looks $1 million. And
right.
like you say, she could be the ultimate heel. Although I do think Bianca would be fantastic if she decides to turn heel. God help everybody else as well. But yeah, that's what everybody wants to see. They want to see Bianca and Jade face off against one another.
Yeah. But and for that to happen, someone has to turn on the other.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're ready for Bianca to turn heel. I would love to see Bianca turn heel. But they have built her up to being what they will constantly call her as the female John Cena, to the point where it will be hard to upset the children by
extremely
her
popular. Yeah, with everybody. No, that's an interesting theory that you have. Maybe with the whole Jade. So maybe it's too easy to think that Naomi had something to do with it. But look, I guess we'll find out in the next couple of weeks. Another match on Saturday night's main event, though, that I'm really looking forward to is Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
I just like Jacob Fatu he's an absolute beast. He's quite funny as well, but he's a wrecking machine. He's crazy, like he's insane. But Braun Strowman, we can't take away from the fact like he's monster of men.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Jacob Fatu will win. But what's your take on it?
If he wins, it won't be clean. It won't be a clean win.
Yeah.
Somebody will interfere. Tama Tonga, if anything. It won't be a clean win.
Those guys just can't stay out of anything, can they really? They just have to get involved.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like the original bloodline.
Yeah.
Jay and Jimmy always interfered in a
but
match.
Do you not find that maybe WWE are trying to package Jacob Fatu now in a different way and just kind of take him away that little bit from the bloodline aspect of things and maybe just let him get on with it in his own right, and like I think he could be a really big star.
Not until something takes place between Solo and Jacob first.
Okay.
You have to
some kind of disagreement.
Break that up. Yeah. I mean, we saw it. We saw it when Solo walked away and kind of left Jacob and Tama Tonga to like hold the bag.
Yeah.
Which in a sense you can even see it on Jacob's face. He felt disrespected by that.
Yeah.
So the breakup might happen a lot sooner than we expect, but that has to be a clear cut first.
Okay.
Before we really start seeing Jacob separate himself from the bloodline.
Yeah. I do think it's like that with the whole Saturday night's main event. I do think some of these are filler matches because we have plenty of time between now and WrestleMania for the real storylines to start building. And it's always really only around Royal Rumble time, which is only next week anyway, when we start seeing that the real road to WrestleMania begins. So what comes out of the Royal Rumble, even like I know going back years, some feuds begin with who throws somebody else out over the top rope, that something comes out of that. So there's a lot of potential there for any kind of storylines to begin. And Triple H has said, like, I think they pretty much had the show nailed down last year, even the card that they want, but so many different things change. And we know even before last year's, when The Rock got involved, that changed the whole dynamic and the whole plan that they had for the WrestleMania itself. So yeah, they make out they make an outline, but then of course all kinds of things happen where they have to change, on the fly.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had plans for WrestleMania last year. And I think a lot had to do with the changing of the plans was, of course, with the Cody Crybabies being upset because they wanted Cody to have his opportunity. They wanted to kind of have Cody take the title off of Seth. And, that's not what the fans wanted. Yeah. But I know that we have been on this topic for quite a time. Yes. But there's other stuff that is going on this week, particularly AEW, where we do have new tag team champions, the Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin took the titles off a private party last night. We have a tag team match with Will Ospreay and Kevin Omega versus Kyle Fletcher and Tenosuke Takeshita. Okay,
It's a
at
mouthful.
Grand Slam um, next week
Grand Slam
or next
is
month.
it's next month.
It is in February.
Yeah,
It's not too soon behind. It's not too soon after the Royal Rumble. Um,
yeah,
and
they'd
then of
never be brave
course,
enough to put it on the same weekend as Royal Rumble.
no, that would
Yeah,
be suicide. That would be suicide.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know, but yes, and then we also have Tony Storm versus Mariah May for the AEW Women's Championship. And I'm wondering, will Tony automatically remember who she is during that match? Is she going to get those flashbacks of when she lost her title against
yeah,
Mariah May last year? I'm just trying to figure out. Or maybe this is all a facade. Maybe it's all a scam and she's just playing us all. I don't know.
that's
Uh,
it. That's definitely it. I want to get your take though on you're our resident AEW expert. You follow that a lot more closely than I do. The reports about Britt Baker finished with AEW. First of all, I
right.
want to ask: does anybody really care?
I
Like,
care.
do you care? Like,
Yeah.
I just feel that
Oh, it's February 15th. Okay.
February 15th. I
Yes.
feel I've always been a fan of Britt Baker, but I just feel that maybe the I saw something from her online there, and there is a lot of people, as people like to do in the public, speculating on her personal life and things, and they go over they cross the line a little bit. Um, but what is going on there? Like, what's the deal? Did it all stem from this backstage thing with MJF and
Um,
spiral from there, or what
no,
happened?
no, it's actually has been a thing that's been about Britt Baker for a few years now.
Yeah,
Um, there's a lot of people, women, who have spoken out, not directly, but they have definitely hinted that Britt could be kind of a mean girl backstage. You know, I'll just put it this way. I feel like in a business like that,
mm-hmm.
you have to be a certain way as a
100%.
woman. And when you come off a certain way, you come off as difficult to work with, difficult to be around, or
Yeah.
just a bitch. Um, I don't know if any real woman in a male dominated field as wrestling
Doesn't
could,
even have to be wrestling, Megan. Doesn't
just
even
in
have to be
general,
wrestling.
exactly, but just in general, um, a male dominating field of any kind, um, you have to be a certain way.
Mm.
And, I'm not going to say, I don't know Britt personally to say one way or the other, but I do feel that, um, it only takes one person to say something before you end up getting dogpiled. And I feel like
Mm.
that's what they're doing with Britt Baker. They're dogpiling her. Like all of a sudden now everybody has an issue and everybody wants to talk about it and get it off their chest. Um, she don't need wrestling.
Yeah.
She is a dentist. She
That she
makes
is.
money.
She's an
She
actress
she
as well.
doesn't have to do this. But I did find it interesting that after that story came out, she did comment on the situation, but not of that in particular. She responded to the rumors that she um, had cheated on Adam Cole while they were together. So
Mhm.
I thought that was a very interesting thing to respond to. rather than you being difficult to work with, and Tony is not calling you in for work because he just don't want you around. But you know, I guess that was a priority of hers to clear up, and she wanted to clear it up. And you know, yeah. But you know, I like Britt. I think she has a side to her, but if you're around any woman long enough, you're gonna see that side of that woman. We all have it within us. It's just, you know, it doesn't speak very highly of Tony Khan, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Because you seem to have a lot of issues with your wrestlers.
Yeah.
So what does that say about you as a leader?
We saw there with Phoenix, isn't it, as well? And like there's a lot of different
And Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
And Malachi Black. And a few
it.
others who wants to leave.
But these stories always seem to come out in some way. Like I don't know, we're not bashing on AEW in any way, and we spoke at length about this last week. We want to see AEW do well. We're wrestling fans, so naturally we just want to see them succeed. However, there's a lot of different things going on there, obviously behind the scenes, and it's like just a very rich man playing with toys in some way. Do you know?
If you want these things, if you don't want the fans to have an opinion about these things, then you need to incorporate a better backstage politics so that these things don't come out. Because a lot of these issues that are coming out, it is being released by the wrestlers themselves. They're the ones that speak it, and they might not be speaking from their main accounts, but trust and believe, a lot of them have burner accounts.
Of course.
And they're talking, and there's a lot of people that want to leave, but they look at how Ricky is being treated, they looking at how Rey Fenix is being treated, and they know, you know, and this is just my opinion.
But if you even go back to the footage that was released around about CM Punk as well, you know, all that kind of thing, and I just think, yeah, it's petty in a way. Some of this,
but you know, in my humblest opinion, I feel like when it comes down to Malachi, he seen what's happened. He played his role. He pretended to be happy there, content. And when it was time for him to go, he got out. Mm-hmm. But now you have stories about him being difficult to work with, or not being a guy that's willing to lose to his opponents. And it's like, you know, this dirty PR stunts that AEW do is terrible. And I always question when something bad comes out about their wrestlers, because it seems as though when someone wants to leave, you try to dirty their names. You know, I remember when the whole issue, like you said, when CM Punk came out, and the story that came out, and boy, was they trying to get me for talking about it. But the story about the committee that they said that Bryan Danielson was leading, and they was trying to put the blame on him for CM Punk getting fired.
Yeah.
And that was the original story. Then it got to the point where they were trying to blame Bryan for CM Punk getting fired. And it took Bryan coming out and saying, hey, listen, am I on the committee? Yes. Am I the only person on the committee? No. I do not have a say in who stays and who goes. There is lawyers there.
Yeah.
So I'm not the one who actually got him fired. And then what happened? Truth come out that CM Punk didn't get fired. He quit. He quit
That's
right
it.
there, right at All In.
Yeah.
So, yes, they play dirty politics over there. This is not speaking on the wrestlers. This is speaking of those who are in control of the narratives that is being presented to these websites. And they know if they talk bad about Britt, if they talk bad about Malachi, if they just don't occupy Ricky Starks, you had Ray Phoenix stuff on the shop, and then you took it down the night that his brother debuted in WWE.
Yeah.
Nasty work. They do
Yeah.
nasty
It's
tactics.
it's petty stuff, and even the fact that they feel they need to use those tactics is piss poor. Like,
It very is. And it's not to say that WWE don't. They
but
have
they're
their
not
ways
as,
too.
yeah, they're just not as obvious with, or more subtle, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
But
But that's
Megan,
an indie job.
well, that's it. But look, I need to bring this up with you. Of course, is we've a new TNA champion.
Yes, we do. And I believed the whole
Did
time. I believed the whole time that he would be TNA champion. And now
finally?
he is. And
Yeah,
although I wasn't home to watch it, I wasn't
yeah,
home, but I did hear about it. And really happy for him. Really happy for Joe. I knew when I saw that vignette, I knew that he was going to get
really
that
deserves it.
title. I knew it.
Yeah,
And he
but
deserved it.
we have the TNA WWE partnership has been extended now, and this opens up a lot of possibilities. And like that, with the Royal Rumble, people are speculating perhaps we could see the likes of Joe Hendry even showing up there, and that would be fantastic too.
Absolutely.
Nick Nemeth, people like that. So there's a lot of possibilities there. GCW was also this weekend. They had an event, and
Yes.
you were at that.
Yes. I went to my
Yeah.
first GCW show. Um,
Was
it was
Tajiri at that?
Tajiri was there. He
How is he
was
holding
there.
up?
He still got it.
He
And the
was he was
fans
cool.
chanted it. He still definitely have it. Super Crazy was there also. Little Guido
Ali
was
Catch got
there.
badly injured, I think, at that as well, didn't she?
Alley Catch did get injured. When it happened,
Mm,
okay, it did look like it worked. It wasn't
yeah.
until I got home that I learned that she did unfortunately break her leg in two places.
Yeah,
So I guess it was when she was taking a dive through the ropes. She just
that is a
landed on her
nasty one.
labrum. It
That is a nasty one.
Where I was sitting at, it you couldn't see the impact. You
Yeah.
just saw that she um I guess Effie had caught her, but she still landed on her leg wrong. Um,
Um,
but yeah, but Effie ended up winning the GCW championship against Mance Warner. Uh, Matt Cardona. I think a lot of people was a little irritated by his match. We
okay.
expected somebody really big to pop up.
Yeah.
Um, of course, that was the match that was supposed to happen between Matt and Ricky Starks, and of
Yeah.
course, Ricky got pulled from the show.
Okay.
Um, PCO was there. PCO was a part of this battle royale at the beginning of the show.
Uh-huh.
And he pulled a Corey Graves. He let us know, actually, he pulled his own pipe bomb promo,
Yeah.
and he is very upset with TNA, and he let it be known that he always chose TNA, and I guess he felt like TNA did not choose him. Of course, TNA did release a statement saying that PCO did not have the actual title. He had the replica title that they was holding on to the actual title because he took a sledgehammer to it. But they did reveal that he was supposed to be at this show tonight. I'm guessing he won't be there, but
Yeah.
I guess he was supposed to end up, turning over the title because his contract was not renewed. And that is where the frustration with PCO came from.
Funny you should mention PCO. We have local Rumble here on the 1st of February in Dublin. And he's a participant in that. So we're going to have our own Royal Rumble here in Dublin, local Rumble on the same day as the Royal Rumble. So I'll have a busy day. I'll get to Dublin. I'll watch that, and I'll be getting home then, and I'll have Royal Rumble that night. But we have the likes of PCO, we have Moose, we have Grado, we have Robbie X, Isla Blanc. There's so many different top names appearing, and more to be confirmed as well. And some surprises on top of that. So that's February the 1st. That's going to be an amazing event in the National Stadium in Dublin. It's going to be my first time going to that. But and that's from OTT, who are probably the biggest promotion across Europe, and that's where a lot of their stars end up going abroad to the likes of, and they have a very close relationship with the WWE. And a lot of people are hoping maybe that the WWE ID will, maybe extend to OTT in some way at some stage. But they do keep a close eye on what the guys are doing and the talent that are taking part in the OTT's events and so on. So that's one I'm really looking forward to. And like that, there's a lot of different events coming up over here in Ireland in the month of February between all the different promotions. For a small country, we're really doing well, and as we can see over on your side of the Atlantic, so yeah, all looking good.
Yes. And this Saturday, of course, the Saturday Night Spotlight. I mean, Saturday Night's Main Event. Excuse me, wrong show. But we also have a House of Glory show here in New York as well. Now, of course, I will not be at that show, unfortunately. I will be home, probably recovering, because earlier that day, I will be going to the House of Glory open house.
Oh.
So I am going to get a couple of rounds in the ring and see what it feels like to get probably beat up a little bit. Yes. That was the thing that I was holding off on till this weekend. So that is this Saturday.
Yeah.
At the House of Glory. Kind of excited to see what that is going to be like.
Yeah.
Never been in a wrestling ring before, so hopefully they'll take it easy on me.
That is amazing. So you're going to take some bumps.
Probably.
And who's going to be leading you through that then? Who are you going to get to? Who's going to be in the ring with you?
I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of people there. It is an open house, so I'm more than positive it's going to be quite a few people there. That's at 12, and then of course at 2 there is a seminar with Kurt Angle. So Kurt Angle will be there as well, and then the House of Glory show.
You're going to get to meet Kurt.
I hope I can see him at the very least.
Well, I got to meet him last year at WrestleCon, and my God, like it's insane just how you feel going up to the likes of Kurt Angle is an absolute legend in the amateur.
You funny, John. I'm not getting signed because I know they're gonna look at me and they're gonna say, "Girl, no," and I'm gonna say,
"You never know." I career you never knew you wanted, but
yeah, I think it's just more so of something that I saw pop up on my timeline, and I thought, 12-year-old, 13-year-old Megan will probably think this is cool. So just do it, get
Make
beat up
sure
a
you get
little.
somebody to film some of that so that you
I'm
have it.
hoping. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely hoping. But of course, just keep an eye out on my podcast. I will talk about it. I don't know if it's like a restriction with cameras, but I'll definitely like vlog on my way there, and more than likely on my way back, and whatever I can get while I'm in there, and just share the experience and just see what
Yeah.
it's all like.
I think the first thing they teach is to take the role, isn't it? Or something, or is it to come down on your back, take the hit or whatever it is, the bump.
Yeah, yeah,
Something along those
that,
lines anyway. And of course, rings vary from promotion to promotion as to how much movement there is in the canvas or the board, and some of them are a little bit more solid than others,
yes,
or more
yes, and
cushioned than others. So
yeah, and
um,
probably just running the ropes,
yeah, yeah,
um, and stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping.
exciting
I'm
times.
hoping I can get somebody
Yeah,
to
we need to
film
see
some of
that
it.
footage for sure.
Yeah. So yes, that is this Saturday.
Brilliant.
Um, and now that I didn't put it out there, because I've been holding on to
No, you
this
have to do it.
since,
There's
I
no
have to
way.
do it now. I have to
Yeah,
do it now. So I will be there.
yeah,
I'll be there.
definitely. If you, yeah, there's no pulling out of it now. You know, that's fantastic, amazing. Yeah, it's something I would have liked to have tried myself, but I'm probably just a little bit too old and brittle now in my bones. At this stage.
Well, that's how I felt about it too. But
But maybe
you
you'll
know,
inspire me now. That's it.
yeah, and it's like I'm not looking to be a professional. I just want to be able to say I've tried it.
Yeah,
Um, because there's a lot of these analysts,
of course.
reporters,
They've not. Yeah,
podcasters that is just
yeah.
online, and they're so heavily they so heavily critique these wrestlers and never step foot in the ring.
They have
And
no
I just
idea what it's like. No.
none whatsoever. So I just don't want to be like that.
Yeah, no, I have
I
the
do.
greatest admiration for anybody that even gives it a try. That, even if you go in and you do 10 minutes and you just go, this is not for me, at least you've given it a try. And
Yeah,
because
that's all you can do.
it is one difficult career, that is for sure.
Absolutely.
Um, and that's why we love it, Megan. That's why we're here. So
Yes, yes, it's true. That is true. So
yeah.
let's
So
see
look,
what happens. But yes, I
yeah,
will be at home recovering, watching Sunday night's main event.
Saturday
Um,
night.
it's gonna feel like Sunday by the time I get home. I know
Yeah,
that's for sure. It's gonna feel like a whole nother day. Uh,
brilliant.
but yes, yes.
Excellent. Well, look, that's fantastic. So we're all looking forward to Saturday night's main event. We have SmackDown, of course, tomorrow night leading into that, and that's we'll see what comes from that, and then on the run into Royal Rumble, then of course next week. So everything is looking good on a wrestling front. There's lots to look forward to, both home and abroad, on the indie scene and the major stage as well. So everybody make sure to keep following what's going on and leave us all your thoughts and your comments. And we'll be back probably same time next week
Next week.
with
Yes.
lots more to talk about.
And we'll definitely fix Twitter, because I don't think we are streaming on Twitter.
No, we're not.
But
No.
we will fix it and be
We'll
up and running next week.
Excellent. So thanks everybody for tuning in once again, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.